Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Sheila Chinn. I'm the occupational therapist here at SCRED, and this is Jessica Szymanski. She's our
Low vision person.
There we go. We're here on behalf of the AT committee at SCRED to show you the AT closet. Some of you may or may not know that this exists. It's in a secret little hidden away place in one of the conference rooms at SCRED. Not so secret, but anyhow, it's here. It's not easily found. You can access the AT closet on the SCRED website through the Destiny Library, and you can check things in and out. I will not get into all that procedure today. I'm just here to show you a few things in the closet. I'm going to start with one of my favorites. It's kind of unique. It's a leveling spoon. It also comes with a fork attachment. For those people that have limited mobility or maybe are spilling a lot, you just attach that easily and it starts beeping and tells itself to wake up, and you can level the spoon. If I were shaking, it kind of stays on there and bends. Still not super helpful if you have a student that does this, because the food will still go flying. We have Zubits. They are helpful for those students that can't tie their shoes. You lace the laces through these, and then it's a magnet that sticks together. So if they can pull apart a magnet, they would be able to have their shoes tied.
I love both those options for low vision kids, because that's what I'm always thinking about. Tying shoes is tricky when it's hard to see, and learning how to eat can be tricky too, because you don't know where your food is and it just takes extra practice. So both really good options for low vision kids, kids with fine motor needs, and just creating more independence.
I'm going to move the camera because I want you to see the shelving. So the upper shelf has a lot of like the watch minders, timers, different items like that. Second shelf is rec and leisure. There's a bubble machine. There are different adaptive toys, low tech as well. We have a couple of spirographs. Any child of the 70s was not, childhood wasn't complete if you didn't have a spirograph. These are great for kids who maybe don't draw, but they can move a pencil around.
Yeah,
they can get some.
In the 80s and I had a spirograph.
Oh, okay. Well, grew up in the 80s, you youngster, you. Down here are some different sensory type items. There's a weighted lap pad. We have some of these bands for kick bands for chairs. We have a fidget cube. There are different types of noise canceling headphones. Vibes are really popular, especially with the older kids. They sit inside your ears, so they're not as noticeable. And these are actually, they were designed by a family in Minnesota, down in Shakopee. Okay, swinging around. We have, this shelf here is still rec and leisure. A water tray that can be hooked up to a switch. Big and bulky, but it's fun. We also have this light cube. It has a remote. You can change the colors. It plugs in. It also has a tray that fits on top. I haven't used this for a while. There we go. And you can also have that vibrate. So a lot of sensory stuff with that. Just gonna move it out of the way. I'm going to hold this and I'm going to let Jessica talk about the books.
So we have a library of books that can be checked out. They're all switch accessible. So there is your old school like flash drive in here. It loads onto the computer. And then if you have a device called a switch or a hook, and you can plug a switch into there, and then the student is able to independently turn pages and listen to a book being read to them. There's lots of choices, even some chapter books for your slightly older student.
We have some seating options down there, those flat wooden pieces that are banded together with red and blue fabric. Those are called How to Hug chairs. Maybe I'll give this back to you. Running out of space in here. This closet isn't big, hence the word closet. So these lie flat. They open up. They're adjustable. They sit on the floor, and as the weight goes in them, they kind of hug around you to provide some of that input, that pressure that some students like. We have them a couple different sizes. I believe the OTs all have a pediatric size. I don't know if we have one in the AT closet, but you can always, yeah, I think these ones are bigger. You can always check with your OT, your school's OT, to get a smaller one.
Sheila, what's this blue thing down here?
Good question. This is another seating option for the littles. Like a little easy chair with an ottoman.
Cute.
There are some wiggle cushions. I think those aren't new to anybody. Oh, let's see. Moving around. Looks a little bare in the rec leisure, so some things could be checked out. Studying, organizing stuff. Haven't used much of that. This is reading, math. This is a reader pen, the C pen. It will scan and read back to you. You can pick your language. That down there, that blue thing, is a scooter board.
What's a scooter board for?
It's for those students that can't get around on a traditional scooter.
Okay.
It's motorized somehow. I have not played with it. But it would be great for those kids that want to participate and aren't able to physically participate. Some ball chair stands in the corner there. There's also,
oh, we're digging deep.
We're digging deep. Oh, look at these for distant or social distance learning. Kids sit in there and then they have a writing surface.
I think it's for those kids that like the floor.
Yeah, or you know, I happened to see a classroom virtually because I zoomed in, and they had their students sitting in scoop chairs on the floor.
Awesome.
In a space, and all.
So they can be spread out.
Yep, spread out. Exactly. We have.
Oh, my favorite.
You want to talk about it?
I can sure try. So I'll talk about it from behind the camera, but that is a directional lock. And just, I was in the middle school and worked with the brand new middle school students and how frustrating and overwhelming those normal combination locks can be. And so this works similarly, but instead of having to find that number, you can just, there's a code of going up or to the right or the left or down to open your lock. It's also, again, really great for students with low vision because you don't have to be able to find those numbers and you don't have to listen for the clicks to change. It's just use your thumb and your lacquer can open.
And if you don't have this fine motor strength or ability to turn that lock, also, if a student has trouble remembering numbers and then their anxiety goes up, their ability to recall those numbers kind of goes away. And so with that flipping of that button sometimes is helpful. We have adaptive scissors here to trial. This one's just doesn't take a lot of strength.
Just squeeze
and
it.
You can just squeeze it this way. You don't have to have this type of motion. This is a mounted scissor, and you just do it by pressing down. And then this is a switch run electric scissor. Now,
Aha!
the big thing that everyone thinks about when you talk about AT is switches, right? As you can see, we have a lot of options. We have a couple of head switches. These can mount to wheelchairs, and again, your OT can help with positioning, and then you just hit it with your head. I've used a head switch with a student. I have not used this one, however. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it is a pull and play switch.
It looks like something that would be good when you're just introducing switches.
Perhaps.
For young kids?
For young kids. Like I said, haven't used this one. Of course, we all know about the Big Mac.
The classic.
That's right. There's a joy switch. This one looks like it's seen better days. But again, you can either grab it or you don't have to if you just have wrist movement. There's these cute little, where'd they go? I just had them. Oh, these micro jellies.
I've seen those used too with like head movement.
A lot of times your OTs can get pretty creative too if you give us enough time. We also have these switch adapters. So for instance, they're hard to see, I think.
Yeah.
But if you have a toy that you want to make switch accessible, you put this piece in with the batteries between the positive end, I think that's right, in between that and the connection of the toy. And then this wire feeds out, and you can put it on a switch.
That's pretty cool.
It's very cool. These wires are very fragile. So don't be frustrated if it doesn't work the first time. Let's see, I think that's...
Show me that ribbon switch.
I have also used this with a student. See if I can just get just one in a bag here so it's easier to see. So that's a ribbon switch. I had a student that could only do this, but that was a way for him to communicate or turn something on and off. So we positioned that on his wheelchair, so then when he went like that, it would turn on and off for him.
So there are all sorts of things inside the AT closet, and teams can get creative and try new things out. And the nice thing about the AT closet, if it doesn't work, you just return it and try something new.
But I have a favor. to ask all of you. If you are returning something that isn't working, could you put a note on it so that we can look at it before it gets sent back in here, and then someone has traveled a long way to pick something up and they get it back and it's broken, and it was broken from the last person. The other thing too is there's protocols to follow with battery operated things. Taking those batteries out when you return something so that it's not sitting here for an extended amount of time with batteries in. We've had to throw some things away because of acid leakage. So this is the AT closet. You can contact the front desk to come in here. Again, you can access it through the Destiny Library. I think that's it. There's a lot more things in here than what we spent time talking about today, but
Check it out.
kind of gives you a highlight. Thanks for listening.